and welcome back to another Monday. And let's talk. Let's really just talk about 2024 because it's been a rough time for a lot of people. And if you've been having a hard time, maybe you're actually watching this video in 2026 and you stumbled across this channel and you're having a tough time. This video is for you. Because specifically, what I'm going to be talking about right now are the new Earth teachers. And the timeline that I'm talking about is between 2024 and 2028. Now, specifically, 2024 feels like it's been very challenging in a lot of ways. If you have had random bouts of sickness or a health crisis or multiple health crises, if you have been extra emotional, if you have been replaying old traumas, if you have been psychically attacked, if you have been challenged within your friend group or your family dynamics, if you have been challenged financially, if you have had multiple experiences of feeling like you are dying, then you have come across the right video at the right time. And if you have been in it, then you are most likely a new Earth teacher. Now, before we get into what does that mean and where do I go from here and how do we get to the place of being in that higher frequency, let's just first put a framework over why you're getting challenged. So I want to just give you a little bit of a background, a story, okay? So just yesterday, I chatted with a friend and she's in it. She's going through it. She is in the middle of all of the aspects of her entire life collapsing. And yet at the same time, there are these beautiful little pockets of new people, new opportunity, new potential financial success, new all of it. And yet it seems every time she tries to move forward, she is getting hit so hard. And so she comes to me and she says, why is it that I'm getting punished from the universe? This feels like I am suffering for no reason. It feels like every time I try and get back up, something else happens, something else breaks down, some other trauma, some other health crisis, some other family thing happens. And why? Why am I being punished? And how do I get through this? And so I said two things, okay? And I actually wrote this down. I said, it's not that the universe is saying, you're not ready. It's actually the universe asking, are you ready? Are you ready for the next level? Are you ready for the next step? And the way that it's determined if you're ready or not is based on the choice that you make when the challenge arises. So, right now at this time, between 2024 and 2028, the focus is on choice. It's not determining who you are or even who you want to be. It's about making choices to become that version of yourself. So we are specifically talking about taking action in the present moment. And so then she asked me, so then what do I do? She's like, I'm meditating, I'm taking baths, I'm trying to take breaks, but I have to work to make money, so I can't just stop working, but I'm trying to apply everything that I know to just get over this, just to get through it, just to bypass this bout of bad luck. And I said, you're actually missing the point. She's like, well, what do you mean? What more can I do? And I said to her, you actually have to do nothing. And there was a really long pause on the other end of the phone. Like, what do you mean do nothing? My world is literally falling apart. And so I told her and explained to her, when we try and take action during a time of challenge and trials and tribulations, what we're actually trying to do is say, okay, let's get past this. Let's move on. This is uncomfortable for me. The point of going through everything this year is to see if you're ready to experience all aspects of life. In order to truly master these lower frequencies and dimensions, we need to be okay with them. It's not about overcoming challenge and finding the success at the end of the tunnel. It's about accepting the challenge. It's about surrendering to the uncomfortabilities. It's about being okay with not being okay. It's about not doing just to get through it. It's about not distracting. When we can accept the darkness, we then can transmute to the light without actually doing anything. No intentions set, no need to manifest. Truly, I've only felt movement in my own life from 2024 in the past week. What did I do to get there? I fucking surrendered. I let it all go. I got to a place within me in all aspects of my life where I was okay not having. I was okay not knowing. I was okay not doing. It took me 9 months of pushing and taking action and fighting and diverting and choosing and more pushing and not accepting to finally be okay with not being okay. And finally, I broke through that wall that kept hitting me. So although we feel new motivation, we feel the energy and the spark to move forward, to take action, because we've been in the gutters, be okay with being present with the darkness. And then we fully move forward and apply that motivational energy to something new. So what happens is, right, and actually this is the visual that came through in yesterday's coaching call with my members, and it was just, I mean, it gives me full body chills just thinking about that coaching call. I mean, I think everyone was in tears at some point, myself included, lots of tears. And so the visual at the end was, right now, we are holding on to both sides. We are hanging on to the comfortability of, well, you know, I've been in this job for 5 years, or I've been in this relationship for 15 years. It's all that I know. And if I change it now, then who knows, you know, what could come? It could be worse. It could be worse than what I have. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to attach, I'm going to hang on to it. And then, okay, but I want to move forward too. So I do want the new energy and I do want new opportunities and I do want to break away from this stagnation. So I'm also going to hang on to the hope of the future. Great. Awesome. What are you doing? You're stuck. You're stagnant. You're hanging on to both sides and you're not actually moving forward in either direction. So stop hanging on to the future. Stop hanging on to the past. Let them both go. Let them both go. Allow yourself to be fully present in the new opportunity while you are fully present in the old energy. And that way things move really rapidly. Okay? So why then right now would you be challenged? And where are we going from here, right? I mean, this whole video is specifically directed towards the teachers of the new earth. I've said this really since day one, but I will say it again. I do not believe that anyone who stumbles across these videos or this information, because I can't take ownership over it, You're not students. You're not. I don't care how much self-worth issues you have, most likely from a lot of persecution and silencing from past lifetimes. I don't care how much you don't love yourself or realize that you deserve so much abundance in life, because I know that you are here because you know this. This is not new to you. This is a reminder to your soul of what the truth is in this existence. We've got to get out of our own way at this point. You've got to realize and see for yourself that you're not only just a teacher, but you're a master of this reality. You've been here before. You know this. Stop believing you don't know. Stop believing you don't deserve. Stop believing you are a piece of the puzzle, and understand that you are all aspects of the puzzle and that everyone else is as well simultaneously. Stop believing that it's 3D or 5D, because it truly is both simultaneously, especially these days. Right now, we're getting challenged in 2024 because this is the final awareness of the darkness within ourselves, and also the awareness of light. So in one given day, you could get the worst news of your life, but then also the best news of your life, and that's the vibe right now. It's the highest and the lowest. And like I said, it's not what is or is not coming to you. It is how we respond and react to it. Are we going to sink as low as possible and wallow within that low energy? Or are we going to show up, be completely present for that energy, for that emotion, for that experience, be in it? And as we're in it, as we're in this challenge, this grief, this strife, this health crisis, to find gratitude in that moment. That's transmutation. I don't think that's a word. That's ascension. That's being able to be in all of it. That right there is mastery. And that's also 5D and beyond. Because when we get into higher frequencies and dimensions, and even just source energy or God energy, it isn't just light and love. It's both. Both the binary, both the light and the dark simultaneously. So if we are going to become masters, creators of this reality, we have to be okay with both. It's not about making a better choice. It's not about doing anything at all. It's about being okay with not being okay. That's it. It's acceptance, it's vulnerability, it's trust that where you are right now isn't going to last forever. When we can do this, we can fully step into our role on planet Earth. We're listening. We're not stuck in the trauma. We're not stuck in integration. And we're definitely not stuck holding the rope at either end. There is movement because there's no attachment or expectation to what state you're going to experience and exist in from moment to moment. It is complete fluidity. It is complete freedom. And when we can do that without trying to overreact, overact, and try and create our reality in every moment coming from a limited mindset, we open the door to all possibilities, good and bad. So do I want to say that things get easier as we get into higher frequencies? I do. Do I want to say that you're never going to experience challenge again? Absolutely not. Guess what? Your car is still going to break down. The rent is still going to be due. Fucking inflation hopefully doesn't last forever. But food, you're still going to have to buy food in a higher frequency. Shit is still going to happen. But what I find is your reaction to the shit happening, it gets a lot better. And you just become more grateful for all of it. And that's really coming at a density like we're in right now from a higher perspective. Okay, so before 2024, so really between the time period of 2020 to 2024, it was a lot of healing and integration. So it would be a lot of realizations, a lot of downloads, a lot of introspection, a lot of healing, a lot of looking at trauma, shadow work. And then there would be a period, usually a long period, of integration where it feels like I'm waiting and I don't know what I'm waiting for, but I feel stuck and nothing's moving. And I thought I did the work, but I'm still not moving ahead. So typically that's going to be before 2024. Okay. Post 2024, like I mentioned before, 2024 to 2028, it is all about choice. It's choice. And just know that choice doesn't always have to infer action. It doesn't always have to assume action, right? We can make a choice to respond in a different way, and sometimes the response in a different way is no action, is just being in the present. So really keeping that in mind. Don't worry about what is or is not happening around you, because it's no longer about what's happening around you. Don't worry about the political drama, which is really just a complete laughingstock for the world, i.e., America. Don't worry about all of that, right? Things are going to continue to happen. How many times have we predicted the end? Not me, but people in general have predicted the end of the world and the nuclear whatever and the World War III and all of the things, right? Shit is happening. It sucks. But we can focus on what we want to create through the choices that we make and how we respond to the world around us. Do you want to focus your attention every day on the misery of the world unfolding? Or do you want to focus every day on the incredible solutions that are unfolding? There are new world solutions happening every day. Microbiomes and fungi that are, breaking down plastics and turning them into organic material. We've got, kids who are making oil out of water or whatever. I mean, it's just the amount of good that is taking place in the world is beautiful. And what they don't want you to focus on is the beauty. Remember, whatever we focus on, we amplify, we create. A new earth teacher is not necessarily a teacher in a classroom or someone on social media getting on their soapbox and teaching. I want you to think about a new earth teacher that embodies the frequency of equanimity, which is the ability to observe everything without reaction, the ability to be in the binary without having to choose a side, the ability to observe not just this reality, but this entire universe from the top down. Not in a hierarchical sense, that was terrible, but in a way that we don't have to be in the weeds. We don't have to be living in life, even though I'm not talking about disassociation. I'm saying we've lived it, and we get to choose what state we are in every moment. Because we're not just reacting and responding, especially the way that the system wants us to react and respond. We then put ourselves in the driver's seat of life. A new earth teacher is someone who embodies this state of being. And when you can do that, watch out, world. That's what we're here to do. That is why you're getting challenged. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. And sometimes the only thing you have to do is stop doing. Stop pushing. Stop taking action. Stop trying to divert. Stop trying to make things better. 50% of this entire existence is a low frequency, and 50% should be a much higher frequency. Gratitude is what bridges the gap. When we can be grateful for the lower frequency, we automatically transmute it to the higher, and so on and so forth. but it requires trust and surrender and presence, of course. So the next 4 years is really helping us. It's preparing the new earth teachers to step into that frequency. And then what I predict anyway is that after 2028, hopefully, the rest of the world is going to be ready and willing to stop feeding just one side. Stop feeding just the low frequency. And they're all going to get challenged. And because we've already been there, we can help usher them through that by understanding neutrality and objective observation. Okay? Please remember, there are two versions of you. There's the version of you in a higher frequency and the version of you in a lower frequency. There's essentially a new earth and an old earth version of you, a 5D and a 3D version of you. And right now and for the next couple of years, what you're going to notice is you're going to see both of these versions almost every single day. All right? Love them both. I know it's hard to love that grumpy, A-type, controlling, whatever those traits are for you, negative, pessimistic, self-sabotaging. It's hard to love that side of you. But that's where the test lies. That's where the challenge is. And that's also where the most amount of unconditional love is. One sentence that I read from a book recently that has really gotten me through some really rough times this year is, the darkest part of the night happens right before the dawn. And as long as you can get through that darkness, the light is right around the corner. So I wanted to come on here and say, you're not alone. All of these challenges are happening for a reason. You are meant to take these lessons and understandings and grow with them and become the most beautiful version of yourself, which once again isn't all light and love. It's acceptance of all the fractals, of all the forms, of all of the angles, of the highs and the lows. So please keep going. You are needed here, and you are so, so very loved. This, everything, really, is happening so that you can align to the highest version of yourself. And I'm really grateful to be here with all of you, also going through it, because it's been rough. It's been a lot, and I'm just grateful that I have been given all of these challenges and lessons, and hopefully once learning them, I can impart that wisdom. But I'm still in it as well, and it's been one heck of a year. So yeah, if you really enjoy this content, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Just an FYI, I got pretty heavily shadow banned recently and on YouTube, and so the numbers are still very odd. In the past 2 weeks, you'll immediately see the video I'm talking about. So please be sure to share this, or at least hit that bell for notifications, because that'll like kick up the algorithm again. If you are worried about missing a video, or you want more incredible content like yesterday's coaching call, which was so incredibly beautiful and just profound, go over to my website. That's a completely censorship-free situation, and also ad-free, which is nice too. So yeah, and then just about a week ago too, we had an incredible Galactic Federation Summit, like absolutely next level, and I'm looking forward to having more of those in that open-ended format. So yeah, follow along the journey, and I am excited to see you soar, because you absolutely deserve it, and the world is waiting to see who you really are. All right, bye for